I'm demonstrating here a balance force technique, and I'm using money glide finders for the same. So these files have unique design that increases the tip stiffness of the tip along with the flexibility, and it has very high cutting efficiency. High cutting efficiency is a very important criteria for a file, as because it will increase the removal of the dentine, and it will pack less amount of tissue debris laterally into the anatomies. So let us see how we do a balance force technique. In balance force technique, what we do is we give the file, we just place the file in the canal, and once it gets engaged, now see it gets engaged, what we do is we give a 90-degree clockwise turn. So when we give a 90-degree clockwise turn, the file gets it screwed inside the canal. Since our file is basically a screw design, so it will certainly get screwed inside. After that, what we do is we place enough force to maintain the same working length the file has reached, and unscrew it to a double rotation. That is, in clockwise we rotate it 90 degrees, so here we'll rotate it to about 180 to 270 degrees like this, but with enough pressure to prevent the unscrewing of it. So in normal way, what happens, suppose I'll show you that. So in normal way, what happens, if you place a file inside the canal, it gets engaged. So when we screw, it goes inside, as you can appreciate, and when we unscrew, it comes out. You can appreciate the same thing. So in balance force, what we do, when we screw it with a 90-degree rotation, we place enough force on this grip to prevent the unscrewing. So that is very important. See, we'll unscrew it to a double rotation to about 180 to 270 degrees. The file doesn't come out. So at this moment, when we are unscrewing it, the engaged dentine that was engaged in the clockwise rotation gets broken off from the wall, and the cutting takes place. So after that, we pull out the file, we clean the debris, we irrigate the canal, and again we place the file inside till it is get engaged. So once it gets engaged, you can appreciate that it goes deeper than the previous placement. So it will slowly happen, and again we give a clockwise rotation to about 90 degrees turn, and a double anti-clockwise rotation 180 to 270 degrees, enough to maintain the working length, as you can appreciate it here. Then we pull out the file again, clean it and irrigate, and then again we'll place it. Once it gets engaged, we'll give a 90-degree rotation and a double, say 180 to 270 degree anti-clockwise rotation till the file reaches the working length, and we'll pull the file, irrigate, and so proceed. So what is the importance of balance force technique? In balance force technique, only the apical part of the file gets engaged with the canal, as because when we are rotating the file to about 90 degrees, only few flutes, say about 2 to 3 flutes of the file gets engaged, and when we are like doing an anti-clockwise rotation, that much engaged dentine cuts off. So the balance force means we are balancing two forces. The first force is the anti-rotation that you are doing, but again the second force is the apical pressure that you are maintaining to prevent the unscrewing. So balancing of these two forces is known as balance force, hence the technique balance force technique. So this technique is very useful in preparing whatever canal curvature you have. It is efficient to prepare. You don't have to give any pre-bends to the file. You have to place the file straight in the canal and start working. It prevents transportation, it prevents ledges, and it is very efficient way of preparing the canal. Especially in cases where you have very constricted or narrow canals, this one helps you to prepare it to say about 15 or 20 number size. So then when you proceed with your rotary file fracture failure is reduced to a greater extent. So definitely this technique helps to widen the canal to a level where you can do a safe rotary technique.